Good morning. It has been a couple of years since I posted. Brief introduction. I am Andrea, mother of 5. Last time I posted, we lived in Indiana. I was pregnant with my 5th child. She's going to be 3 in August, so time has flown. We now live in North Carolina, in Raleigh, and we love it. We were only in Indiana a year and a half. And we decided we were just done with our Midwest winters. We'd been there for almost 10 years in the Midwest. And then we just decided, Indiana, where we had lived, was just a little too small. We missed being in the city again. And so we are here. We love it. It was the best move for us. The weather is fantastic. Summers are a little bit more humid than the Midwest, but not a whole lot. We love the fall and the spring. It's been amazing. So one of the things that we did when we moved was look for land, because we did love that part in Indiana. So we were able to find 3.5 acres, and I kind of wanted to give you guys a tour. I've been sharing on Instagram, and I've actually been sharing my home renovations, which was my first hobby before quilting and embroidering and cross stitching, all of that. We have been busy, and obviously with the 5th child, very busy. So I haven't done a lot of quilting, and I just started sharing with my followers our home renovations. And I had kind of shared some of that in Indiana, and I'd done a few YouTube videos. But I wanted to get back to YouTube because I just feel like it's a better platform for me to really explain my vision and what's going on, just to be able to talk to you guys. Instagram is very short form oriented, and it's gotten more so where you have the viral 2-second clips, and it's not as organic anymore either. So this is where I'm going to start focusing, and I hope to have an episode each week that kind of shows where the house is currently, where it's going, the renovations we've done, my plans for it. Today's episode is going to be a tour of our exterior. The thing that we loved most about this house was the exterior. We loved our home in Indiana, but my favorite home style is a colonial home. And that was like big on my list, and we were able to buy a Southern Colonial with a big front porch. I show you guys all about that. And again, every episode I want to just show a little bit more of our home, but this will just be an introduction. So without further ado, here is our Southern Colonial, and I will show you the exterior that I've fallen in love with. So while you may have started following me for quilting, I hope that you will continue to follow me in our home renovations. I am just as into gardening as I was in Indiana. I did share a couple of those tutorials in our raised beds. We put in another garden here. I have been doing lots of painting, and there's wallpaper, kitchen renovations. So I hope that you'll join me along for our home renovation process. This is our Southern Colonial home. I wanted a colonial when we moved out here. That is actually my favorite home style. While I loved our home in Indiana, it was post and beam construction and it was stunning, but it certainly wasn't like my favorite home style. There's a million I love, but my favorite has been a colonial. And a big front porch is something that was on my wish list, and we were very fortunate to find this property. I'm just gonna pan out here. That's the garage side. This is the master bedroom wing on the left, and I absolutely love everything about this. It's symmetrical. The landscaping was already here. Like I said, we've had to do a lot because the bushes went well above the railing. So we did a hard prune last year, and they looked so bald, but they are coming back thick, just like our arborist said. There's still so much. We added the fans in here. I have to replace the front lights. I haven't done any exterior lighting yet. And then front porch, I'm always planting. There's a couple pots in there that were just spring bloomers, so now I need to switch them out. But I absolutely love how this front porch is. Last year We didn't have any front porch furniture. This year I really wanted to go ahead and add some items so we could use this area, and it has just been the perfect place to hang out. We've had a most wonderful spring. It's been cool and just not humid at all. These two trees as I'm backing up here are crepe myrtle trees, and they bloom absolutely gorgeously in the summertime. They are just covered in pink and just kind of create this magical walkway underneath for our front entry. So this little Mrs. Tricycle, I love this walkway. Now I'm gonna go ahead and pan around here so you can kind of see we have about 3.5 acres, almost 4, and we have this nice circle driveway. So the lots are all a good size here. Everyone has about 3.5, 4 acres, and the road is down there. So we have a nice long driveway, and it just ends up being this really stunning drive. When you come up our driveway and you get to the top of the hill, it was the most amazing thing. Just when we first saw this house and we parked at the bottom, there was an open house, and you just walk up to the top and you see the home. Loved it. I love all of the hardscaping that was here. You can see it's a lot of lawn, but like these boulders, you know, I love that. And again, you can just see all of this over here. I've been gradually adding benches and garden decor. This was all here in the front. Again, this hardscaping is just excuse me, really great to have in place. And then along the driveway, all these rocks, it's great for irrigation, not irrigation, but for the water to run off. It just works really well, but it also is really beautiful. So you can kind of see here, I mean, it's a long way down, and then we just have this heavy woods here, and it goes to kind of a steep hill down there. We have plans for this area someday. I would love to do some terraced steps so that way you can actually walk the woods. I think that would be stunning. It's a lot of property to kind of get our feet wet in, and there's a lot to be done just in terms of like our immediate landscaping, and then some of the trees needed some trimming and help and stuff. So we are slowly but surely getting there. Now as you come up here, you can hear all the birds. It feels like we live in a park some days. I'm not kidding. Just all of the birds you hear, see, and the wildlife. We see foxes, and we're not far from everything. So this has just been such a treat to have this to relax. So this is the garage side. It is a work in progress. There were some dead bushes in the front. We just had those taken out a couple weeks ago. This was all just dirt, and then there was a row of dead bushes there. So we took them out. I will be planting hopefully this fall. I just didn't want to rush the landscape plan. I kind of wanted to figure out what I wanted to do. This was a Facebook marketplace find, so I just put it there for now. I'm probably going to end up putting that on this side here. We have gradually been clearing the leaves. When we bought it, it was all clear of leaves, and they had just put pine needle mulch down. And then over the last few years, our landscapers have just blown all the leaves into there. So it's been pretty deep. So we'd like to clear it, and I would love to make garden paths and actually plant in there. I think it would be a beautiful, beautiful place for that. And then here is the side. So this 2-car garage. And again, one of my favorite parts about this house is that it looks like it's been added on to over time, but it was all built this way. And so this is our side entry. It's the main entry that we actually use. The gardenia bushes were just in prime bloom. They're starting to fade. In this entry area is a laundry room, which we've already partially remodeled. And then this is our kitchen. There's a screen porch. That was another must-have, or like really high on my wish list, and we were able to find that here. Then the garden. This was partially here. I'll do another episode at one point of the before and after. But the outline was there, and then we added all of the gravel paths. Goes to the garden shed. We had power added this spring and lanterns, and then I hung the arch and hung a flower basket. We had the garden redone. There was no gate. I designed the gate, and then we found a local handyman to build it, as well as the raised beds. I did an episode in Indiana about our raised beds. So these are very similar design. Again, this time, instead of my father-in-law, our handyman built them. They're L-shaped here. And I do need to get more in there, but last year I just kind of wanted to start with this and just grow in here. So there's room to add more beds. There's room to add pots if I want to. We ended up adding this top part up here to make it taller for the deer, and we came up with a design for that. And then we added like the little decorative corbels on top and the back. I'll show. The vine was already here. Again, I've been pruning them and just really taking care of them because they were overgrown and mostly dead. It's come back beautifully. These snowball viburnum bushes are just absolutely stunning in the springtime. They're just fabulous. And then the gravel partially is, the weeding here in North Carolina is horrible to keep up with. And then the soil is clay, like really thick clay. So we did raised beds, and then we did the gravel because it just doesn't get enough sun to dry out. We get a ton of light, a ton of rain, but we don't get a lot of sun in this area, enough to grow, but not enough to ever really dry out this grass area. So the best plan was to put in the gravel, and it's just been wonderful to have that. We have paths there, and then the path of course goes here. So excuse me, we can just walk to the garden, pick things, and then we don't have to go in the mud. Everything is doing really well. Last year we did vegetables mostly. This year we are doing mostly flowers, cut flower garden. So like I said, I will do another tour of that at some point. And coming around back here, we had fallen in love with this backyard. I mean, isn't it just incredible? The panoramic view. One thing we love about this property compared to our Indiana property, yes, they are both wooded, but this one, the hill's in the front. So we are actually on a flat piece of land up here, whereas in Indiana, our backyard was hill. And that made it hard to use, a lot of it. So the deck, the gazebo, all of this was here. So thrilled with this. I mean, it's just the best place to hang out. I have been gradually adding furniture and items this year. These are all Facebook finds. Very, very happy with it. These planters were here. I keep them for herb gardens, the flowers. We have the pots here. And then over here as well, lettuces, so I can do year-round gardening. I mean, it has just been the best place to hang out. The kids are always rearranging my furniture, and had an epic car run going down there. They took little Mrs. Slide and put it up there. There was a jacuzzi there at some point, or a hot tub. They took it out and just kind of patched it up. But look, it goes down to the front yard, which I love, so we can access it again either way. We had these since our house in Ohio. The cushions did not make it. I need to order some new cushions. But here's the gazebo. Look at this. So beautiful. It's absolutely enormous. We have a playhouse here for little Miss. These are Rose of Sharons. You can see they're budding up. They're stunning. They bloom purple just the whole summer. They're covered in blooms, and it's just beautiful. This has all power and lights. We end up usually putting outdoor movie theater there. We can sit here. I've been looking for a large round table to put in that corner so we can actually hang out more, and then to have benches and everything as well. So this has just been such a fantastic area to have. The kids love playing hide and seek and tag and everything, and my husband and I can just kind of hang out everywhere. And then we have access through our master bedroom there as well. So again, this is just kind of an introduction tour of our exterior. Let me know if you have any questions. There is a spot I actually did miss. There is our fire pit. And then in the background, we have a tree house. The prior owners built it. My father-in-law repaired it. The kids love it. More magnolias. Oh, they just are starting to bloom beautifully. And then there are more crepe myrtles in the back as well. So this has been like our little slice of heaven, and I hope to continue sharing my renovations and ideas and plans, because man, do I have big plans for the gardens and everything. We have met a wonderful gardener in our neighborhood. They have, again, 3.5, 4 acres, and they've turned it into just this stunning garden that they have, and we walk through it all the time, so taking inspiration. Thanks for watching, and I hope that you'll join me on future episodes for additional tours of the spaces inside our home.